Who controls $147 billion yet almost no one knows his face? Who decides what hundreds of millions wear daily, without seeking attention? Who owns prime real estate in Madrid, London, New York, Paris, Milan, Shanghai, and stays invisible? Who quietly shapes labor systems, trade flows, and national economies? This man commands global fashion, technology-driven supply chains, and factories across continents while overseeing 7,000+ stores in 100+ countries, 0.2 million+ employees, $35 to $40 billion annual revenue, millions of garments weekly, new designs in 15 days, 60% of Inditex, final decision power, $20-30 billion+ in global real estate. Who builds an empire this vast, and stays silent? This is Amancio Ortega, founder of Zara, architect of Inditex, the world's largest fashion retailer by revenue. More influential than H&M and Uniqlo combined. Not a celebrity. Not on social media. Not in the spotlight. He doesn't follow trends. He creates them.
This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. The content is based on theories and not verified facts.
Born in 1936 in Leon, Spain, Amancio Ortega grew up poor. His father was a railway worker, and his mother was a laundress. The youngest of 3 siblings, he quit school at 14 to work as a textile delivery boy. One moment stayed with him forever. Young Ortega watched his mother cry because they couldn't afford a dress she liked. Can you imagine feeling that powerless at 14? That humiliation burned into his memory. It wasn't luxury I wanted. I would later prove it. It was control, Ortega would later say. From that day, he became obsessed with making fashion affordable, accessible, and controllable, from design to price to distribution. He didn't dream of riches or fame. He dreamed of power over the world of fashion itself. And that dream would one day build a $147 billion empire. At 19, Amancio Ortega launched his first company, Gala, a tiny workshop making bathrobes. Capital, just $1,000. Result, no fame, no media attention, no investors. But one critical lesson burned into his mind. Middlemen were stealing profit. Factories were slow. Retailers controlled pricing. While competitors waited months for deliveries, Ortega realized something profound. If you control production, you control destiny. How many people give up after their first small business fails? For Ortega, failure wasn't the end, it was the starting point. From that tiny bathrobe workshop, he would learn the rules of control, speed, and independence. Amancio Ortega co-founded Zara in La Coruña, Spain. The idea was revolutionary. No long fashion seasons. No huge inventories. No waiting for trends. Control the design. Control the factories. Control the distribution. And the results were staggering. Zara could go from design production shipping store shelves in just 15 days. Competitors, they took 3 to 6 months. This wasn't fashion. This was industrial warfare. Ortega himself seemed to ask, why wait for the market when you can create it? How many companies move faster than their competition and actually succeed? By mastering speed, control, and execution, Ortega transformed Zara into a global powerhouse, rewriting the rules of the fashion industry forever. Zara didn't stop there. It became Inditex, now the largest fashion retailer on earth. Subsidiary brands, Zara, Massimo Dutti, Pull & Bear, Bershka, Stradivarius, Oysho, Zara Home, Uturk. Revenue, $35 to $40 billion per year. Profit, $4 to $5 billion per year. Employees, 0.2 million plus. Countries, 100 plus. And here's the kicker. Ortega owns 60% of the shares, serving as former CEO, current chairman, and ultimate decision maker. Ask yourself, is Inditex just a company, or is it a global fashion government? By controlling design, production, distribution, and pricing, Ortega built more than a brand. He built a machine that shapes what the world wears, silently, efficiently, and relentlessly. Inditex, the company behind Zara, isn't just a fashion giant. It's a global retail empire with a market capitalization of about 200 billion euros. In 2024, Inditex made 38.6 billion euros in revenue and 5.87 billion euros in net profit, one of the highest in fashion worldwide. Here's the shocking part. Most of that comes from one brand. Zara alone generates 27.8 billion euros, nearly 72% of total sales, and that includes Zara Home, its home decor and lifestyle segment. Other brands also contribute billions. Bershka, 2.9 billion euros. Stradivarius, 2.66 billion euros. Pull & Bear, 2.47 billion euros. Massimo Dutti, 1.96 billion euros. Oysho, 0.83 billion euros. Uturk, euro 97 million, historical, now integrated into Massimo Dutti. Inditex operates 7,000 plus stores, employs 0.2 million plus people, and earns over 10 billion euros online. As majority owner, Ortega receives billions in dividends every year, over 3 billion euros in 2025 alone, and more than 9 billion euro over decades, quietly reinvested to expand his control. Owning roughly 60% of Inditex, Ortega is the ultimate decision-maker, with a personal net worth of $146.7 billion. Amancio Ortega, net worth, 2026 $147 billion. Global ranking, top 10 richest people. Country, Spain. Amancio Ortega is a Spanish businessman and the founder of Inditex, the powerhouse behind Zara. Brands, Zara, Massimo Dutti, Pull & Bear, Bershka, Stradivarius, Oysho, and Zara Home. Company value. Inditex has a market capitalization of $206 billion USD. Revenue, 38.6 billion euros, $41 billion. Profit, 5.86 billion euros, $6.40 billion. Global reach. 100 plus countries, 7,000 plus stores, 0.2 million plus employees. Ownership and control. Ortega owns 59% of Inditex, no longer CEO or chairman, but still steers major decisions. Income and investments. Dividends, $3 to $4 billion annually. Through Pontegadia, he owns prime real estate in New York, London, Paris, Madrid, and stakes in energy and infrastructure. Revenue streams. Fashion sales, real estate, dividends. A relentless global cash flow engine. Family. Daughter Marta Ortega leads Zara today, continuing the empire into the next generation. Ortega's real weapon isn't just factories, stores, or brands. It's data. Every Zara store constantly reports what sells, what fails, what customers touch but don't buy. Using real-time algorithms, Zara can kill bad designs early, increase profits, avoid losses before they happen, loss control, small batches, no overproduction, almost zero unsold stock. Ortega himself seems to say, speed is the new currency of power. Ask yourself, how many fashion companies can see the future of trends before anyone else? By turning every customer interaction into actionable intelligence, Ortega doesn't just sell clothes. He controls demand, dictates trends, and dominates global fashion, quietly, efficiently, invisibly. Ortega doesn't chase flashy luxury. He reinvests his profits where it truly matters, real estate. He owns prime properties in Madrid, London, New York, Paris, Shanghai, Tokyo. Estimated value, $20 to $30 billion. His strategy is simple, yet brilliant. He owns the buildings. Zara rents from him. He controls the rent. He controls the location. He controls the cities. Ask yourself, if you own the land, who really controls the business? By owning the very spaces his empire operates in, Ortega doesn't just sell fashion. He shapes cities, dictates markets, and ensures power stays in his hands, quietly, invisibly, and relentlessly. Inditex is too big to ignore. Government influence fact. Billions in taxes. Hundreds of thousands of jobs. Entire supplier economies depend on Zara. In Spain, it's even more striking. Policy decisions consider Inditex. Cities compete to host Zara stores. When Zara leaves a region, factories collapse. Suppliers shut down. Employment crashes. Ask yourself, can a company wield more influence than politics itself? This is economic power without a single speech, campaign, or headline. Ortega doesn't chase headlines. He follows unwritten rules that built an empire. Control beats fame. Systems beat talent. Data beats intuition. Silence beats noise. Assets, lifestyle. As Ortega himself seems to say, real power doesn't announce itself. Here's a fact most people miss. During global recessions, while others struggled, Ortega's wealth kept growing. Why? Low inventory risk, fast adaptation, global diversification. Ask yourself, is success about talent, luck, or having the right system? Ortega's empire proves that quiet discipline, control, and strategy beat fame and noise every single time. He doesn't just build companies, he builds unstoppable systems that thrive even when the world falters. Despite being Europe's richest man multiple times, Amancio Ortega remains almost invisible. No social media, no interviews, no public speeches. He eats in the same cafeteria as his employees, with no security drama or billionaire lifestyle show, just ordinary routines. As of 2026, Ortega's net worth is around $147 billion, making him the richest person in Spain and one of the top 10 richest people in the world. He is the founder, CEO, chairman, and largest shareholder of Inditex, owning around 60% of the company. Inditex is the parent of brands like Zara, Massimo Dutti, Pull & Bear, Bershka, Stradivarius, and Oysho, generating over 38 billion euros in revenue and nearly 6 billion euros in profit, with Zara alone contributing 27 billion euros. Inditex operates in 100-plus countries, with more than 7,000-plus stores and 0.2 million employees, spanning Europe, the Americas, Asia, Africa, the Middle East, and Oceania. Ortega's investment arm, Pontegadia Inversions, manages a vast real estate portfolio in cities like Madrid, London, New York, and Tokyo, giving him strategic influence over markets and economies. Ortega's actions speak louder than headlines. He doesn't need applause or recognition. Real power doesn't announce itself. He is not just a billionaire, he is the king of fashion, a global business force, quietly running an empire that touches millions and shapes economies worldwide. Which of Ortega's rules, control, systems, data, or silence, will you apply in your life? Ortega proves that true power doesn't announce itself. It moves silently, yet reshapes the world. Like if this shocked you. Comment, which Ortega rule will you apply? Share with someone who wants to build a real empire.